congratulations. You helped us move from hate to hope, from division to unity, from fear to caring for each other. We have an opening for change that our movements made possible, reflecting the beauty of our dreams. There's a famous quote from the poet Seamus Heaney. Part of it goes, human beings suffer, they torture one another, they get hurt and get hard. History says, don't hope on this side of the grave. The longed for tidal wave of justice can rise up, and hope and history rhyme. But this is only an opening with a promise. Now we have to make it so. That's the work of the Academy, to train the next generation to make hope and history rhyme. We're so grateful for our terrific staff, the co-directors, Jay Travis, Eric Zachary, and Kaylee Tock, and our associate staff, and our board, Sakib Bhatti, G2 Brown, Bob Creamer, Jackie Grimshaw, Jackie Kendall, Judy Hertz, Mike Lux, David Medina, Eddie Morales, and Marvin Randolph, and also our remarkable organizers, donors, and the leaders we recognize tonight. We also thank David Grossman for making these videos. The Academy Awards is also our annual fundraiser. Throughout the evening, we'll be sharing prompts like the link you'll see on your screen in the chat now. Supporting us tonight supports us all year. We hope to hire another trainer, expand our online selections, increase Spanish language training, and revise our wonderful manual. For this, we need your support. Because we organized, we did change the world, and we need to continue to organize to continue to change the world. Thank you for all the organizing and world changing that you do and that we do together. Together, because we organized, we can make this a more just and democratic world. And if we continue to organize, we'll continue that change. We look forward to celebrating our future victories together when we organize.
Hi, my name is Jasmine Gripper. I'm the Executive Director for the Alliance for Quality Education. I thought it was absolutely important for myself and the entire staff at AQE to participate in Midwest Academy trainings. They provide the base for everything you need to know to do organizing right, to do it well, and to be highly effective. My team has greatly benefited from being a part of this training, and any future staff members that we have come on to AQE will definitely join a Midwest Academy training in the future.
Hi, I'm Marina. I work for the Alliance for Quality Education. I'm very happy to be doing this with you all here. I took the supervisor's training earlier this year, and I wanted to give a big shout out to Eric Zachary and actually the entire team at Midwest. The tools that they shared with us and the practice we had with them during the training was spectacular and really helped me be a better supervisor and better at my job and furthering the movement.
The late, great James Baldwin said that not everything faced can be changed, but nothing can be changed if it is not faced. And our next award winner, our Movement Building Award recipient, Alicia Garza, who is the principal at the Black Futures Lab, co-creator of Black Lives Matter and the Black Lives Matter Global Network, has given voice to millions, saying what we should all know as common sense, that Black lives do indeed matter. We want to honor her today and say thank you, Alicia, for the work that you do. It is important to know, and for our children to know, that believing in freedom is a worthwhile endeavor. So thank you for the work you do. And now, a few folks that want to pay tribute.
Alicia, you are simply the best there is when it comes to movement building and organizing, I will say. Your incredible vision, your incredible leadership, your incredible strategic capacity, it has all been deployed in the service of all of our movements, for justice, for dignity, for humanity, to save our democracy. And we are so grateful to you for all the ways that your leadership shows up and changes real life for real people in this country, whether it's campaigning, whether it's protesting, whether it's leading and organizing coalitions, or whether it's in the form of your new incredible book, The Purpose of Power. We are so fortunate to have you building movements in this country and to follow your leadership. We love you so much. Congratulations, Alicia.
Alicia, 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 I am so honored to be able to honor you. From your leadership in the labor movement around fighting not just for domestic workers, but fighting for Black workers to be heard, counted, and visible, to building one of the most powerful, durable, and important symbols our movements have ever known. You are not just the person on the stage giving us the marching orders for what we do next, but you are the person behind the scenes developing the clear and cogent strategies that help supercharge our fight for a better tomorrow. In every single way, you make us all better. And one of the things I love most about you is that you just don't care about making everyone else better. You constantly work to make yourself better. And that is saying something because you're already so great. It's not just in the sort of importance and clarity of your words, in the sort of thoughtfulness of your strategies, and the focus on executing. I am so privileged to be part of what you are building right now at Black Futures Lab. I am so privileged to count you as a board member of Color of Change, but most importantly, I am honored to call you my friend. Alicia Garza, there is no one I can think of more that deserves to be honored by organizers for their work to lead, to build, and to direct us towards what we can all achieve together. You, in every single way, point us towards the purpose of power and what we should do once we achieve it. Congratulations, my sister, and please take your bow.
Alicia Garza, congratulations on your recognition by the Midwest Academy. I'm Eddie Morales, and I'm a city councilor for Gresham, Oregon, and a board member of the Academy. Alicia, you exemplify leadership and are most deserving of the Academy's Movement Leadership Award. From our early days as student organizers on our respective campuses, to our statewide student associations and the U.S. Student Association, where we helped carry the torch for the long-standing student movement that helped to lift up women of color, workers on campus, and create more equitable education systems, to your recent work founding and leading an international movement for the liberation and freedom of Black lives. This movement has benefited us all. Alicia, you have held steadfast to your values and commitment to building movements that center the people most impacted. You have pushed our movement to take an intersectional approach as we work to advance our individual liberation. You're a shining light and an example for how we must pursue this long work for justice. Organizers change the world. You have done just that. Thank you for your years of friendship, camaraderie, and your leadership. Congratulations, and I love you, friend.
I am so incredibly honored to be receiving the Movement Builder Award from the Midwest Academy. The tributes that I just saw were, I don't even have words, they were incredible. And it means so much to me for people who I've been in this work with for so long to offer their love and their reflections. And it really makes me remember how much movements are so very deeply about building relationships that can last. You know, for me, movement building is about doing the work to make sure that everybody understands that they can be the superheroes in their own stories. While I am receiving this award tonight, each of you who are watching are your own superheroes. And what drives me in this work is the process of seeing someone go from feeling completely helpless, completely hopeless, to seeing that they have power and that all it takes is to take a step forward, to have the courage to say, I am sick and tired of being sick and tired, to finding people who care about the things that you do and joining them. And then once you've joined them, expanding your ranks, keeping the building of not just our movement, but our organizing, growing and growing and growing over time. I love the work of building movements. It's what gets me up in the morning. It's what I think about when I go to sleep every night. And the fact of the matter is, there is no end to movement building. There's no Oz that we are going to reach. What instead, I think, is more likely is that we continue to perfect and hone the process of building relationships that last. So for you who's watching this right now and wondering, how do I join a movement? How do I help sustain a movement? Well, I've already given you the steps. I've already said, figure out what you care about, find the people who care about the things that you do and join them, and then keep building your group, keep building your crew until none of us have been left behind. But the truth of the matter is right now, things might feel confusing. They might feel scary. But here's what I know. What I know is that we pushed a boulder up a mountain. We pushed campaigns over the finish line in ways that nobody expected that we could. So the real question we should be asking ourselves is, what's next? And frankly, who got next? Again, it is such an honor to be in this movement with each of you. It's such an honor to be receiving the Movement Builder Award from an institution that has helped to train me to be an organizer, that cares about what it means, not just to build relationships, but to understand power and how it works and how we build it for ourselves and how we build the kind of power that isn't corrosive, that isn't replicating the power that we're fighting right now, but building the kinds of transformative power that can transform our families, our communities, our world, and most importantly, ourselves. Thank you so much for this incredible honor.
Hi, my name is Jaisha Young. I'm from the Asian Pacific Island Reform Movement, where I organize residents to create policies that will mitigate and reduce air pollution in our region. The Organizing for Justice training I took back in September gave me how to strategically organize a campaign that can help pass policy. Not only that, but it also gave me an opportunity to better understand on how I can connect with residents and make them into leaders to push for a better environment that all of our community members can enjoy. I've attended a lot of trainings in person, and I had some doubts about how a training could be through Zoom. However, I found that training was rich in content and gave me a lot of hands-on opportunities on applying some of these theories into practice. I've always seen and heard of the Midwest Academy strategy chart, but the training really taught me how to utilize that tool in my campaign. And for that, I was extraordinarily thankful I had that opportunity from the Midwest Academy.
The late, great Ella Baker said that oppressed people, whatever their level of formal education, have the ability to understand and interpret the world around them, see the world for what it is, and move to transform it. I'm honored to be on the board of an organization that believes in those principles, to support our co-executive directors, Jay Travis and Eric Zachary, who embody that belief. And it's important for philanthropy to embody that belief. And as a former grantee of the Ford Foundation, I know that Darren Walker, who is now receiving our Visionary for Justice Award, is an embodiment of those principles. It's important to have faith in the fight, faith in our capacity to win the fight. And we want to honor Darren Walker this evening from the Ford Foundation for being not only a brilliant man, but being a humble man and the embodiment of the principles that I just spoke to. Here's to you, Darren.
Good evening. My name is Saritha Gupta, and I'm the director of the Future of Workers program at the Ford Foundation. I want to begin by congratulating the Midwest Academy for 47 years of training organizers who have been on the front lines of key struggles and have provided critical leadership to our social movements in the US. I myself have been a beneficiary of the Midwest Academy's Direct Action Training Program, and I'm the great honor of introducing Darren Walker, the recipient of this year's Vision Justice Award. It is so appropriate that he should receive an award that includes the words because they very appropriately describe Darren. Darren is the president of the Ford Foundation and for 2 decades has been a leader in the nonprofit and philanthropic sectors. There's so much that I could share about Darren's many, many contributions to the philanthropic, business, arts, and social change sectors. I will simply share that in all of his work, Darren has been and continues to be a leading voice on challenging inequality, a champion of working people and marginalized communities across the globe, and a visionary for justice, committed to the belief that everyone should have the power to shape their lives. You might ask, what does it mean to be a visionary for justice? Well, in the case of Darren Walker, it means reimagining philanthropy to catalyze leaders and organizations driving social justice, creating bold and transformative ideas, and building movements across the globe. Under his leadership, the Ford Foundation recently became the first nonprofit foundation in US history to issue a $1 billion social bond in the US taxable bond market to increase grant making to stabilize and strengthen nonprofit organizations in the wake of COVID-19. And this is in addition to many other efforts at the Ford Foundation that he has led that is rooted in a deep commitment to catalyzing, strengthening, and building resilient organizations committed to social change. He truly understands the importance of social movements. I know this as a former grantee partner and now as a member of his team. With that, I want to thank you, Darren, for your leadership, your vision, and your unrelenting commitment to justice. Please join me in celebrating Darren Walker.
I'm very grateful to Midwest Academy for this very generous award in recognition of me and the Ford Foundation. It's especially meaningful coming from Midwest Academy because we so respect and admire the work that you do to train, develop, advance, and support progressive leaders. Leaders this country needs more than ever. For me, as I reflect on my journey and understanding of justice, I think about my grandfather, who, when I was a young boy, I found myself having to read and translate a document written in English that he could not read. I understood from that experience that he was not literate. And he explained to me that when he was a boy, young Black boys only went to school for a couple of years before they went to work in the fields in this rural East Texas community where he lived. And when I reflect on the injustice, the cruelty, the inhumanity, the lack of recognition of his dignity, I'm so grateful that today there are organizations like Midwest Academy ensuring that this nation fulfills its obligation to every American. I'm grateful and thankful for all that you do. Congratulations on your great work, and the Ford Foundation looks forward to many great years ahead with you. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Amber Wilson, and I work with Economic Security for Illinois. I also manage the Cost of Living Refund Coalition. Training with Midwest Academy was a great experience for me. I came into my role as a brand new organizer and also as a brand new coalition manager. And so what the training did was help me set up structure and systems within the coalition. It helped me to manage in a more effective way, again, that was structured and that had it all written down on paper. Also, I learned about organizing. I learned about how organizers do organize and how they connect with community voices and develop their power and their strategy, which I was able to enact in my role and make good connections, good, strong connections with the community voices that I partner with, that I interact with, and that I work with every day.
Mother, mother, there's far too many of you crying. Brother, 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 there's far too many of you dying. You know we've got to find a way. Bring some of this loving here today. Father, Father, we don't need to escalate. See, war is not the answer. Only love can conquer hate. You know we've got to find a way. Some of this loving here today. Picket line, picket sign, don't punish me with brutality. Come on, talk to me so you can see. Oh, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Mother, 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 everybody thinks we're wrong. Who are they judge us just because our hair is long? You know we've got to find a way. Some understanding here today. Picket line, picket sign, don't punish me with brutality. Come on, talk to me so you can see. Oh, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on? I tell you what's going on.
My name is Husti Godoy. I'm with Chaplains on the Way in Waltham, Massachusetts. And what I appreciated most about the training was how concrete and specific it was, particularly the way that it helped me think more critically about what kind of pressure would affect which kinds of decision makers. Thanks to the training, we have been able to build a coalition of housed and unhoused leaders in Waltham and led a targeted and sustained campaign and got the mayor of Waltham eventually to provide bathrooms and indoor space for unhoused people. So thank you so much for your support of the Midwest Academy.
I hope everybody's enjoying themselves. I hope that you are appreciating the folks that we are honoring tonight because they are well deserving. Our final award recipient embodies this quote by my friend, the late, great Johnny Latner, who's also a Midwest Academy alum. from Parents Unified for Local School Education out of Newark, New Jersey. Johnny's quote was simple. He used to always say, "Let your work speak." And Mike Podhorzer, anybody that talks about Mike talks about the fact that he's relentless, that he is about the work to improve workers' rights and to win social justice for all people in this country. So we are honored to present Mike tonight with the Paul Booth Labor Leadership Award. You're well-deserving, Mike, and here's to you.
I'm Rich Trumka, president of the AFL-CIO, and I'm grateful to the Midwest Academy for all that you do to advance social justice and to honor the working people who advance our causes. For nearly 25 years, Mike Podhorzer has been with the AFL-CIO. He's been at the forefront of battle after battle, working to elect pro-worker candidates. But nothing ever has, and nothing ever will, match Mike's leadership this very year. With our democracy at risk, Mike charted our course forward for not just beating Donald Trump, but making sure the will of the people was heard and respected. So it's fitting that Mike is receiving an Academy Award because he gave us the script for how things would play out before the rest of the country had it. But this isn't a Hollywood triumph. It's a real life story of solidarity. See, we were prepared. We didn't blink, we didn't panic, and Mike's calm, steady hand provided the peace of mind we needed to finish the job. Our movement prevailed. Our voices were heard. And you better believe our democracy will endure. Mike, I want to thank you for everything you do for America's labor movement. And I want to congratulate you on being this year's recipient of the Paul Booth Labor Leadership Award. Congratulations, buddy.
Hi, I'm Karen Ackerman. I was the political director at the AFL-CIO, and I worked very closely with Mike Podhorzer. I am just thrilled he's getting the Paul Booth Award. I loved Paul Booth. He was a wonderful union leader, and Mike is a terrific trade union leader as well. We worked very closely on political campaigns, working with the unions, the AFL-CIO unions, to educate their members, turn out the vote, and create a significant role for the labor movement, particularly 2008 elections. Mike was fundamental in that, in terms of doing the polling, the focus groups, and the analytics and the messaging. And so Mike was really absolutely important and fundamental in the growth and the development of the labor movement in the electoral arena. So I congratulate Midwest Academy for honoring Mike Podhorzer. He deserves it. He continues on fighting the good fight for both the labor movement and the progressive movement. Congratulations to Mike.
When I first got to know Mike, it was always and ever within a 1 mile radius of the AFL-CIO, where we were allowed, according to me, to walk or consume some sort of dinner. Because at that time, I believed he must have been on some sort of ankle bracelet monitoring. He worked so constantly, and let's face it, still does, that I would joke that he wasn't allowed to go more than a certain number of blocks past that building. What I know of Mike, and I'm guessing what all of us do, is that he is an incredible and irreplaceable combination of dedication, relentless work, understanding of the uses and misuses of data, but above all, one of the kindest and most compassionate, caring friends that one could ever have. I think all of us are, whether we know him personally or not, are incredibly indebted to Mike Podhorzer for everything that he does with and for us. And I just really want to congratulate him for this incredibly well-deserved award. Thank you, Mike, for everything you've done, and congratulations.
I'm Dorian Warren from Community Change, and I'm going to offer my hearty congratulations to all of the Midwest Academy 2020 honorees, Alicia Garza and Darren Walker, the homies, but especially my home slice, Michael Podhorzer. Congratulations on receiving the Paul Booth Labor Leadership Award. And I can't think of anyone more deserving because you are an organizer's organizer with the most amazing intellect, provocations, challenges, and heart for the movement. I so appreciate our friendship. You have actually challenged me and pushed me to be smarter, to be more rigorous with the work that I do. But that goes for so many of us around the country. In fact, some of you know Pod actually coordinates a list of hundreds of people. And I just want to read some of the outpouring of love that Pod received days after the election. Somebody wrote in the weekly Zooms, weekend readings, the breakdown of data. They were always something to look forward to because of the wealth of knowledge curated and shared. There's a true richness to this community. Somebody else wrote, we are all so much more honest, collaborative, humble, patient, and effective because of you, Pod. You've changed my life and the lives of so many people on this thread. You encouraged us to fail, to try again, to learn. And what an extraordinary imprint for just one person to make on our movement story. So Michael, we love you. Thank you so much. Congratulations. And we're so proud of you.
Wow, Rich, Karen, Anat, and Dorian, I'm overwhelmed by and grateful for the generosity of your words and the examples you have set with your own lives. To be honest, I feel a little bit like Tom and Huck, thrilled by what I've heard, but nervous that I will have to admit that I'm not actually dead. Receiving this award has special meaning for me as it comes from the Midwest Academy and is in Paul Booth's name. I was first exposed to the project of which the Midwest Academy was a founding and foundational element as an eager 24-year-old activist. That new project being built by leading civil rights, anti-war, student and feminist activists who came of age in the 60s, envisioned multiracial, class-based organizations joined to the labor movement. I made that my vision for the next 14 years before joining the labor movement itself. Paul Booth, who I met at the time, best embodied that vision. Originally, he set an example for me with his brilliant analysis, then by his career in the labor movement, and eventually as a precious friend with whom, along with Heather, I had the privilege of vacationing for the last several years of his life. I can't help but be disappointed this evening because we are virtual. No way to hug each other, to honor each other's collective determination, to inspire each other, or be recharged by the electricity that spontaneously generates itself whenever we are together. Those of you who know me or follow Weekend Reading won't be surprised when I say that this is a bittersweet moment. We can all take enormous satisfaction in what we appear to have just accomplished. Fingers crossed, there are still 42 more days. But especially for those like myself who have been at it for quite a long time, we have to recognize that that accomplishment would not have been necessary had our efforts to make America a truly multiracial democracy been more successful. It is to that we must continuously renew our commitment. I am honored to receive this award, but most of all grateful to be in your company, the daily beneficiary of the example of your commitment, hope, and integrity, without which waking up in the morning would be too daunting.
Hi, my name is Sharon Smith. I'm an alumni of the Midwest Academy. And I wanted to share with you today that how much I really appreciate Jay and Eric for the training that I received just recently. I attended a training several years ago as supervisor track to help my organization. The skills that I use today and that I used then helped move my organization support around helping the voice of the people. And so today, as I talk about being an alumni, I just want to also share how much I appreciate the training that I received just recently from Jay and Eric. The training is amazing. Even though it's virtual, you still feel like you're in a room with their voices and their understanding of where you're going through your organization and the training. So I just want to say, Midwest Academy, I appreciate you very much. I appreciate you, Jay and Eric, and thank you for all the hard work that you do.
Good evening, friends, alumni, and supporters. I am Jay Travis, and Eric Zachary and I are co-directors of the Midwest Academy. We deeply appreciate your support and are truly excited to have honored such visionary leaders this evening. The Academy is also honored to continue our 48-year history of supporting organizations that are led by and build power with communities that have been most impacted by racial and economic injustice. During this historic time, a time in which we have experienced a pandemic that has exposed deep levels of systemic racism, mass uprisings against state-sanctioned violence and the murder of Black people, an economic crisis and egregious attacks on our voting rights. The field of organizing has expanded in dynamic ways, and so has the Midwest Academy. During the past year, the Academy has enhanced its training curriculum through deepening our racial justice and political analysis and building strategic and innovative partnerships with organizations led by Black and Brown leaders. Since the onset of the restrictions related to COVID-19, the Academy has trained more than 500 organizers through our newly developed online training models. We look forward to continuing this work and supporting organizers that are building long-term power and ultimately a more just world. Thank you once again for your support.
All right, and congratulations to all of our award recipients. You are well deserving of this honor, and we really wish that we could do more. We wish that we could be there to hug you and to give you dap and say, hey, great job. But please accept these awards as a sincere expression of our appreciation for who you are. And we also appreciate everybody that's listening tonight. But before I go any further, if you're wondering who is this MC with the raspy voice, my voice is not usually raspy. The issue is that they're trying to close the oldest hospital during a pandemic on the south side of Chicago. And I'm helping to facilitate a coalition that's trying to stop the closing of Mercy Hospital. So I've been yelling and screaming all day. So please know that my raspiness is because I'm fighting for the people, all right? So just please excuse that. But so then have mercy on a raspy voice, brother, when I say this. You all are here, which means that you believe in the Midwest Academy. It's important that we demonstrate, again, our belief in our ability to win our fight, our ability to leave this world better than we found it. And a critical aspect to that work is infrastructure. In other words, helping people to get the tools they need to be able to make change. I have benefited personally from the Midwest Academy strategy chart in several campaigns that I've been a part of, been blessed to have won, and folks didn't think we could win. The Midwest Academy is essential to movement building. And so you can express just how much you believe that by how you donate. So we're asking you now, please donate, be as generous as you can. The link is in the chat, and make sure that you demonstrate that you believe in the work of this board, in the work of Jay Travis and Eric Zachary, and in the work of the people that we honor tonight, and everybody who's been trained and will be trained in the Midwest Academy. So dig into those pockets or get on your phone and click on the link, whatever you have to do. It's time to give. And we appreciate you and thank you very much. And on with the show.
Hey folks, I'm Maria with the Alliance for Quality Education. A huge shout out to Eric and all of the folks at Midwest Academy for all of the amazing work that you've been doing. Just really quickly, I think a huge takeaway for me is, no one's coming to save us. Like, this work is so deep and so sacred, and to be able to feel supported and to actually have trainings that support us in being better in this work is tremendously important in this time. So thank you all.
Hey everyone, my name is James Lopez. I'm with the Power Youth Center for Social Change. And I am really grateful to be able to talk about Midwest Academy in this moment. I attended the 2019 supervisor training, and it was a great experience for me and one of my staff members to really reflect and build relationships with other organizers and movement leaders at a time that is really unprecedented. We see so many people, especially young people, politicized in this moment, getting mobilized and taking action. And we recognize that more and more people need access to concrete organizing skills. Midwest Academy provides fundamental tools that ensure that the next frontline leaders actually have the capacity needed for a more rigorous and disciplined movement. Often in our social movements, the ability to have several of your members of your organization actually do the fundamentals really well is really the cutting edge of what a lot of our movements need to win in this moment. And I couldn't be more grateful for Midwest and Eric and Jay's leadership in making that possible. So if you can support Midwest Academy, please do. They're doing amazing work. Thank you.
What a wonderful program. Jay and Eric, thank you for all you do. And congratulations to Alicia for building a caring society with your incredible dynamic leadership. And Darren, thank you for believing in people and our work and then following it up with support. And Mike, thank you for your analysis and visionary leadership and partnership throughout the years. To all of you, thank you all for what you have done, what you will do, what we'll do together, and look forward to seeing you next year in person. And now, G2 Brown, thank you for your work and your leadership.
Thank you, Heather. I really appreciate that. It is an honor for me to serve on the board of the Midwest Academy. Often when we are involved in change-making work, and I know that you all can relate to this, everybody that's watching, you're often isolated. You're often treated as if you're wrong because you want someone's foot off your neck. You want to be treated with dignity and respect, whether that's in the workplace, whether those are institutions in your neighborhood that should be functioning differently. And to have an organization that embraces your right to demand to be treated with dignity and respect is one of the honors of my lifetime. So I value the Midwest Academy. I value all of our award recipients, our board members, and especially our staff who have taken on the task of making sure that the Midwest Academy meets the needs of folks who want to speak power to power. Again, we're past the days of speaking truth to power, of speaking power to make sure that we can transform this world, that we can leave it better than we found it. So I'm honored to be a part of this process. I want to say thank you all for attending the Midwest Academy 2020 Academy Awards. We had fun, even though we had to do it on Zoom, right? So thank you very much. My name is G2 Brown. I was your master of ceremonies, your microphone controller, your MC, whatever you want to call it. I was your guy tonight. I hope that we made this fun for you and that it was an enjoyable experience. So now, believe it or not, you can still listen as we move out to the Resistance Revival Chorus. And I want to thank you all for attending, and everybody be safe and be strong.
The year was 2018, and the United States seemed, well, as divided as ever. Hateful words and actions were not only being perpetuated, but praised by an administration that claimed to represent all of us. I was angry and frustrated and exhausted. So as usual, I turned to music and wrote a song to express those feelings. I needed a song to uplift my own spirit and to encourage others in the fight for justice and freedom. I needed a tribute to those people who were doing the work for people. I needed us all to go on. Once again, I'm Mia Pace with the Resistance Revival Chorus, and this is I Hope.
we ever come to this? You say our lives do not matter. Justice has no face. To study war and anger burns the fabric of our state. Sends a message to our neighbors that we've all grown great. It's a long road.
How many roads must a man walk down before you call him a man? So how many seas must the white dove sail before she sleeps in the sand? So how many times must the cannonballs fly before the band? The answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind. The answer is blowing in the wind. So how many years can a mountain exist before it's washed to the sea? Listen, how many years can some people exist before they're allowed to be free? And how many times can a man turn his head, pretend that he just doesn't see? The answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind. The answer is blowing in the wind. Yes, and how many times can a man look up before he can see the sky? Yes, and how many years must one man have before he can hear the people cry? Yes, and how many deaths will it take till he knows too many people have died? The answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind. The answer is blowing in the wind.
You know you gotta find a way.
Father, we don't need to escalate. War is not the answer, no. Only love can conquer hate. You know we've gotta find a way to bring some loving here today. Picket lines and picket signs. Don't punish me with brutality. Just talk to me so we can see what's going on and what's going on. What's going on and what's going on. How many of y'all look around and say that y'all president right now and just wonder what the hell is going on? Or looking at all of them senseless gun violence? Mother, everybody thinks we're wrong. Oh, but who are they to judge us? Just because our hair is long. You know we've got to find a way to bring some love in here today. Picket lines and picket signs. Don't punish me with brutality. Come on, talk to me so you can see what's going on. So what's going on? Hey, what's going on? And what's going on? I need the clap still, y'all. I need that, y'all keep me on beat. And what's going on? What's going on? When I see all my mothers crying, brothers dying, I just wanna know what's going on. What's going on? Hey, hey, hey. Thank you, Midwest.